Hello again, Scorpio. It's June 2019. I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au. Welcome to those of you who are new. Here we see your horoscope for the coming month, and what stands out straight away to me is this 7th house. Well, actually the 7th, 8th, 3rd and 9th. Let's just go through these step by step so that we can get a handle on things. The close proximity of the dark moon with Uranus in your 7th house of relationships. This is certainly the house of marriage, but it also has to do with one's relationship to the world at large. And I've been saying to a lot of you in the Scorpio tribe that the way you are dealing with people generally has had to change over the past year or so. Uranus makes you innovative. So this combined influence of the moon with Uranus, and the moon of course rules this 9th house, so I like to look at the house rulerships and what those planets bring to the other houses as they move through those segments. For example, the sun here in the 8th house rules your 10th house. The 8th house is the deeper transformative areas of your nature, and being a professional planet, that shows that you are also renovating that area of your life. Here we see these two houses are important because not only are you changing the way you deal with people, with your love affairs, romances and intimate friendships as well, but we see that the new moon this month on the 4th takes place here in this very pivotal, deep, what's sometimes called dark, but it's only dark, not because it's evil. People have a misconception about this 8th house. It's dark because it's relatively unexplored by most people. The majority of people, even if they're doing yoga or meditation, they're afraid to go into those really deeper recesses of themselves to work through some of that shit. And of course here, this is the cesspool of self, along with this 12th house, which is the events of the past. In fact, the 4th, 8th and 12th sectors of your horoscope are those hidden parts of the horoscope. And so with the new moon here, it's an opportunity for you to purge that. You can't solve a problem unless you recognize that you have one. And so the action of this new moon, along with the sun and Mercury, opens you up to what I call the science of human possibilities. So we've had the 7th, the 8th, and then this real big dandy of an aspect, which is Mars, the node here, the North Node or karmic point, past karma, Saturn, and Pluto, all in this. Look at this tight opposition here, this tension here, has a lot to do with your higher values right now and the way you communicate these values. You know what I'm finding, because I'm a Scorpio too and I can always share my personal feelings with you, is that for the most part I don't want to share my personal feelings with you. No, I'm just joking. I'm saying, for example, Facebook and just friends generally, I have withdrawn a lot from that arena, and I think if you're anything like me, you'll start to discover that sharing your opinion with others. What did I read the other day? I read something interesting. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. And I think that's the conclusion I'm coming to. Doesn't matter what your opinion is, even if you share it forcefully, believing that you're going to transfix and transform the world, people generally, for the most part, hold on to their opinions. So this 9th house is your belief systems. And I think it's an understanding that what transforms you here in the 8th house isn't necessarily going to transform everyone else. It's like the reformed smoker. You can reform yourself, but the moment you go to try to transform everyone else as a smoker, what happens? They give you that. They don't want you anywhere near them. Let me smoke. Let me have my belief system as it is. Leave it intact. And so what you're learning, I think, is that all of this stuff is well and good for yourself. Let others, what is that? Live and let live, I think, is the key for you around this time. So this new moon is going to have an impact, but don't try to enforce that on other people. That may happen around the 10th when the moon transits here through your 11th house. Notice here also your marital planet, that planet of strong relationship moving through that 8th house of intimacy again. That brings with it an opportunity for you to connect in deeper ways with the one that you love. It is also a way for you to engage business people who may have money or other resources that can help you achieve your professional and financial ends. And speaking of finances, the full moon takes place here in your financial segment around the middle of the month on the 17th. And that's powerful because Jupiter is a friendly planet. It is retrogressing, so correct me if I'm wrong, I have noticed there's a bit more of an increase financially after a bit of a drought. So the retrogression here for Scorpios being financial in this area should be good. And the new moon there should open up opportunities as long as you're not too emotional. Just be pragmatic and down to earth. Triggering again that 3rd house, 9th house belief system. Here we saw a couple of areas when it transited the 11th. Now again the 3rd house when it's going to be really sort of prodding you to communicate your newfound realization. Hopefully you'll heed the message of Saturn here, which is to withhold. You'll be frustrated by people. You'll be so tempted to type something on Facebook and let everyone have it. For the most part, I'm not saying you can't influence people. For the most part, I think your actions are going to speak much louder than words. Domestic circumstances seem to dominate quite nicely too. There's some nice aspects around 21st, 22nd. Idealistic Neptune receives mixed aspects with the moon on the 24th. Love affairs, creativity. The challenge is sometimes nice there. I wouldn't say it's altogether too bad. Just don't aspire to things that are outside your reach, shown by this square of Neptune and Venus. You have to proceed slowly in your search for creative perfection. Health issues may be a bit of a problem here from what I can see, with the moon transiting here 26, 27 in your 6th house in Aries. Again, these could be headaches or some quick sorts of infections or inflammations that come and go. And here too we see the head, and then when it moves into this 7th house, the throat, although that's not to do too much with your health, but this can maybe exacerbate your relationship. This is frazzling to the nerves and could bring some information of an unexpected nature from those who are ordinarily much more reliable. That could be a bit of a surprise to you. Once again, the end of the month finishes, let me go back there, in that 7th house. So I think it's all to do with gauging the calibre of the people you deal with this month, understanding that what you aspire to and what you think is just the best thing since sliced bread is not always going to impress others as much as it impresses you. So bear that in mind. And in the meantime, don't forget to stop in at astrology.com.au and take a look at what more we've written there for you for the month, for the year. And don't forget to contact me if you'd like more detailed information on what's going on in your personal universe. Till next month, take care. Thanks for your company again.